All right, we are recording. So, welcome to the Team Tenacity Team Award call for the 11th of May. Tonight, we are talking about inviting, and perfect topic for the beginning of a month. We're barely, not even 2 weeks strong into May. So, we have a good 3 more weeks to put what we talk about tonight to work. And so, I'm going to start with some kind of inviting premise, some inviting concept, just kind of lay the groundwork. And Janice is going to follow up behind me with some actual legit strategies that you guys can take and plug in. Some of them you may already be doing, some of them maybe not, but I know that this is one of the areas that I need constant reminders, constant encouragement, and constant refreshing and new strategies. So I think this will be a call that anyone who listens to, anyone who's here definitely gets something from. So first thing I would like to say is that in order to have a business, you have to be working with someone. You have to be working with people, and specifically with what we're doing with coaching. And this is how Beachbody, from what I have observed, is so very, very different from other MLMs. And that's because it's service driven. I even, had a coaching prospect call this week where they wanted to know, how do I advocate for the product? And I said, well, you advocate for the product by being a product of the product and then helping other people do the same thing. We really are service driven. And so if you're not serving, then you don't have a business. And so that's the primary thing to note, that the invitation is the mechanism by which to serve. So in order for people to know and to want what you have, to know what you're doing and to want what you have, then further to trust you so that you're the person that they go to for what you have to be inviting them. So I went and I did a little teeny tiny Google search, and the definition of, I give you 3 definitions of invite to kind of wrap our minds around this. And Janice is going to say something later that I really like that can tie back into the definition of inviting. But to invite is actually a verb, which is super awesome for me because I'm action oriented and I love that it is do. It is a doing thing. You don't embrace inviting. You don't know inviting. You don't think about inviting. You actually do it. And the invitation is the request to join. So when you send someone an invitation, you are requesting their presence. And then inviting is making requests. So I think that helps. I think a lot of times we feel like we have to convince someone of something. We have to provide someone with something, that sort of thing. No, it's a request. It's like, hey, you want to come? Think about birthday invitations that you got either for your kids or when you were younger. That's what we're doing. We are requesting presence. So we know that challenge groups are the primary way that we help people with their health and wellness goals. So this is where we help them be accountable for using the resources that we can provide and that we can help them with to reach their goals. So we've talked about on other calls, and we talk about pretty consistently on these calls, that, the way I started out, we are working with people by serving them, but we have an awesome platform with resources and tools. So challenge groups are the way that we serve to make sure that they're using them in the way that will help them meet their goals, right? So number 1, we need to be running those groups first. And when I say running those groups, there's a couple of, there's a lot of flexibility. I was just telling someone yesterday, there's so much flexibility with Beachbody. And I think that can kind of be overwhelming because it's like, well, which way do I do, right? But it's also like, you can make this work for you no matter who you are and what your lifestyle is. I love all these people hopping on, hey. So we're recording, and for you guys who just popped on, I am talking about inviting, and just kind of ran through how to be inviting, you have to have something to invite to. And so we're talking about the challenge group. So first, we need to be running them. So you can self-run a challenge group, you can collaborate to run a challenge group, or you can refer to challenge group with coaches that you've partnered with, either your upline or coaches within your team. I know that we do a lot of that in my team. Janice and I have run groups together before. So when I say you need to be running a challenge group, if you're newer and it's scary to you to say, hey, I'm running my first challenge group, get somebody to link arms with. Go to your upline and say, hey, can I join your group with you? Is there a way that you can help me with mine? Y'all, there's so much flexibility. So that's first and foremost. And then secondly, we need to be continually inviting to these groups. That is the one consistent thing that I have done from the day that I signed on to Beachbody. Janice too. I have had a challenge group. Sometimes I've had 2 in 1 month. You know what I mean? So every single month. So I think I counted the other day. I'm something like 19 or 20 months or something like that, almost 3 years. And every single month there's been a challenge group. So that's how you find a way to be consistently inviting. I think a lot of times it's like, wait a minute, what am I getting them into? Because you're not running a challenge group. So that's where we need to address that first. Secondly, we know that this coaching opportunity is very real and can be a platform for people just like us who want to help other people, who are passionate about health and fitness, and who want to be earning an income for doing those things. And yes, this can be a lot of things to a lot of different people, but it's real and it's an opportunity and it's a platform. So we also need to be providing a genuine example of how that's impacting our lives. And 2, we need to be providing an invitation for people to learn about that and take advantage of that coaching opportunity too. We know that that grows us, but we also know that that opportunity will feed and grow other people as well. So now we know what we're inviting to: coaching opportunity, challenge groups. There are different ways to do these things. I'm keeping track on my notes so that I give Janice plenty of time because she's got some really good stuff to say that is actually like plug-inable. So plug-inable. There are ways to do these things that can be feasible for your individual coaching vision and for your lifestyle. And I'm big on making sure that we know that there's a way to make this work, no matter who you are or what your style is or what your vision is. There's a way to make this happen. But we have to be super, super careful about weighing our comfort motivation. And what I mean by that is it's really easy to be like, I don't send cold invites. That's not my style. Or I'm not inviting 100 people a week. That is overkill. I'm not in this for that. Or, I don't do hey girl messages. That's not my style. Or, I don't think that is what I want to do. And the reason I'm throwing all that out there is because most of the time when I've said those things, it's been because I was uncomfortable doing them. And not to say that you have to be doing all those things, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. Those were just random examples. But what I am saying is the inviting part, quite seriously, is the scariest part of Beachbody. It's the scariest part of coaching. It's probably one of the scariest parts of any MLM or any direct sales, because there's a lot of pretense and there's a lot of stigma that you feel like you're fighting. But I want to tell you that everything that you've got in your head that someone did not directly tell you, you made up. And that's an irrational belief. And that's one of the first places that I go with counseling clients is we have to assess irrational beliefs, because if you're basing your behavior on an irrational belief, your results are going to be nowhere even close to what you desire in life. So we kind of have to shut that down. You don't know what other people are thinking. You don't know what their perception of you is. And we all do that. I am big for doing it, especially when you live in a small town like I do. You think everybody's thinking about you all the time. You're like, oh, they saw my post today and they da-da-da-da. What if they didn't see your post today and they have no idea what you're talking about, right? So keep that in mind when I talk about your comfort motivation. What is the motivation for your comfort level? And are you stepping outside of that comfort level to test your limits and to grow? So let's talk about it like this. The first level of inviting is what people are seeing, okay? So let's talk about your social media, because it's pretty likely that you're not walking around with your Shakeology cup going, hey, I'm a coach, hey, I'm a coach, hey, I'm a coach, right? No, we use social media. That's our commercial zone, right? We get free commercialization. So number one is your personal page. Now, we're not going to do a social media training with this, but I just want to give you like a brief snippet of a couple of things. On your personal page, that's the place where you want to be sharing your passions. You want to be sharing your story. You want to be sharing your interests, creating a picture of what you're about so that when people see your posts, there's no question. Like, Amanda is committed to health and fitness. Like, y'all go look. I think my daughter's in there a few times. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, she loves her kid. But she is committed. This is where I share my passion with the world. And this is how I've been using Facebook since before I started coaching. It was like, okay, I've got a message to share about wellness, and this is the only place people are listening to me. So let me put it out there, right? And your why is far, far, far more important than your what. Your why, the reason you're providing help for other people, the reason you're working out every day, the reason you're snapping pictures of your food for accountability, that is way more important than what supplement you're taking, what workout you're doing, all of that stuff. The why, that's what gets people's attention, because they feel like they're getting to know you. They feel like they're getting a little window into your life. And when you're genuine and transparent with people, they begin to trust you. And when someone trusts you, they know that they can go to you with their problem. They know they can be vulnerable with you and say, hey, I've been having trouble with XYZ's PQ and R. I think that maybe this is something you could help me with. Hallelujah, right? Yes. Okay. So second is your business page. Some of you don't have one. I recommend you get one. This is how you expand your footprint, okay? This is how you begin to appeal to people who are outside of your warm market, those people that you know, the people in your community, the people you went to college with. Those people are going to tap out, or they're going to get tired of the noise, and you may or may not get to them now. I tell you, Janice has been listening a lot longer than I have, and I know this still happens to her today, but I'm almost 3 years in, and there are people who I swore would join me, the first month, who are just now saying, hey, are you still coaching? Are you still doing a challenge group? Holy cow, yes. Oh my gosh, is it your time? So those people, you can't count on those people. They're going to come when they're ready. So the business page, the like page, the fan page is a place where you can start reaching people who you don't know, or friends of people that you do know. You know what I mean? So this is the deal with that. I want to be super clear. Consistency is what builds that. You will not get immediate gratification from a fan page. So do not, this is what I'm going to read it, do not stake your future on momentary feelings of rejection. When you make like page posts, and you get crickets, it's not, nobody likes me, people think I'm stupid. It's not that. It's that Facebook algorithm does not support that being out in the news feed yet. It doesn't mean anything yet. Still to this day, I post on Awarding Life and I'll get 2 likes, So my tip for growing a like page is to take everything you're putting on your personal page, put it on your like page, just every day. Just do double post. It doesn't take long to copy paste and throw the same picture up there, because over time it's going to happen. And then the other thing you could do is take the like page post and share it to your personal profile. Okay. Because shares are good, even if you did it. And then it's showing people who see your personal page, oh, what's this over here? And they're going to click on it, and then they're going to like the post, and that's going to build its traction, okay? Number 3, your marketing platform. So Facebook, I'm speaking specifically to Facebook, but it's not, it's all social media. This is your marketing platform. So you're not an infomercial. That's not how you want to market this stuff, right? They can turn on their television for that. Your marketing strategy is your why, and that is what you are posting in your style, in your creative voice. If it's, Janice takes beautiful pictures of food. Her ability to feed her body in a way that supports the lifestyle she wants to live is a big deal. So that's what people can see, and they get inspired by that. And they're like, oh, how are you making that? You always have such pretty food, right? So that is how you are marketing the opportunity to begin that conversation. And she's going to tap on that a little bit too, about what happens when people click like on those posts. So the other thing is to provide shareable content. Motivational quotes always win. A picture of you doing your workout and a quote that, I'm telling you guys, I'm doing hammer and chisel right now. Siggy is dumb funny. So taking his quotes, and I haven't been as good about it, but I'm that girl who in the middle of my workout goes, I need to press pause just so I can write that mess down. It's so dumb. But anyways, sharing that kind of stuff where people are going to be like, oh yeah, that's hilarious. That's what's going to create word of mouth advertising for you. And I'm putting it in those marketing terms because I want you to see that you have we have resources to create voice for ourselves. And I was going to try and find some examples to screen share for you guys, but that did not happen. So, you know, maybe over the next couple of days, weeks, if Janice and I come across great coaching posts, we'll throw them your way, post them up in our team pages. So I just have a few more things. The next step, once you kind of like think about your social media as your commercial and how you're putting your voice out there, is the actual personal interaction for inviting. You don't get to be a hermit. Let me say that, because I love it. I love being alone, and I love being in my house by myself, and I love hiding behind my computer screen. But while much of the work is done behind the scenes, you know, you're creating content for your challenge groups, you're making pretty graphics, you're thinking about what you want to do with this, you're doing trainings, you're learning. While a lot of that happens, unless you're talking to people, it's never going to come to fruition. You're never going to be able to put that stuff into action. You're never going to get the reward for it, and the momentum will never build. So you have to be in conversation with people. You have to know that the reason that you want to be in conversation with people, regardless of what that conversation is about, is you want to know what the people want and need. They call this market research. Okay. It's like those posts you see where people are like, what do you struggle with most, eating or fitness? They're trying to get research. They're trying to hear what the people want so that they can feed that back. Okay. So you get to find out what people want and need. When people start confiding in you, you all of a sudden have a window into your audience's problem. And number two, you're going to be able to get better at helping them. Repetition is what creates like the consistency of our behavior, right? So if we're constantly talking to people, we're going to get better at responding to what they're giving us, or listening and hearing things and picking up on things that we can tap into. Number three, you're going to find out what works. Yes, you're going to get rejected. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I won't try that again. You're going to get shut down. Y'all, I had somebody a couple months ago tell me that I was a liar. They told me this was a gimmick. And I'll tell you exactly why. It's because I prejudged this person and assumed that they were all product-based, and I didn't go to the behavior with her first, which is what she really needed. But I prejudged her. So I was like, oh, you get this, this, and this, and this, and it's da-da-da-da-da. People experience these results with this, blah, blah, blah. And 2 weeks in, because I hadn't really dug deep with her and figured out how to help her, she wanted to send it back and get her money back. So I took a knife to the heart, seriously, because that there couldn't be further from the truth. But you're going to get hurt and you're going to get shut down. That's how we learn. So we know to keep that open mind and to keep that listening ear on, right? We find out what works by having those conversations. And there we have it. The fourth one is we get clearer on how we are meant to serve. It's not my style to go to the product. I know that. That's not me. I didn't even call myself out on that until weeks later when I'm still processing what this chick said to me, right? But this is how we get clear on how we are meant to interact and serve people. Okay, so you need to be reaching out to people about your opportunities. Storefronts don't sell themselves. It's very rare that you see a new place of business pop a sign up and just call it quits. Just going to sit here and wait for people to come in, right? No. How many of you guys get emails about discounts or special events or whatever? The store is providing an invitation for you. They're requesting your presence. And then I can't hand this over to Janice without being the type A that I am and pointing out that we have to recognize the numbers game. It does play a role here. I am way bigger on value and morals and vision and leading with purpose. However, we cannot negate the numbers. We have to recognize that the statistics say that 10% of the people you approach might say yes. So 10% is not a lot. And if you're inviting one person a week, your 10% is a big fat 0.0000001 or something like that, right? So if for every 10 people that you put an invitation out to, you're going to get one yes, you get to now decide, this is my baseline. How many people should I be inviting to get the results that I want? I set a goal for myself to have 5 to 10 new challengers a month. Okay. That means I need to be inviting 50 to 100 people a month to hit my goal. Nobody else set that goal for me. That's mine. So I'm in charge of inviting those people. And if I don't invite them, I'm the one who's holding myself back. So if you're satisfied with your business growth, then great. If you're not, use the numbers game to kick yourself in the pants. And then all else I'm going to say, and then I'm going to stop, is once you start doing the things that you know you need to do and inviting the numbers that will get you the results that you're looking for, you're going to start noticing the small incremental changes, right? You're going to start noticing that, oh my gosh, I sold a challenge pack today. I'm in the game. Let me pump up that invitation so I can find them a partner to work with in this challenge group that I'm creating, right? That's momentum, sure. And it's refresh motivation, sure. But psychologically, what you are doing is creating self-efficacy for yourself. Self-efficacy is that I believe I can do it muscle. It's not self-esteem, which is I feel like I'm worth something. It's I am capable. It's that feeling. It's that thought process. And it's just like the first time you ever tried to do a push-up and you sucked because females have terrible arm strength, right? But you did one and it was like, okay, I can do one push-up. And then tomorrow your trainer's like, do 5. And you're like, I can't do 5. And you do 3. And it's like, I'm almost there. And then the next time you do 6. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do 6 push-ups now. And then before you know it, you are going for 15 because you think you can do it. That is self-efficacy. That's what momentum gets you. And that's a human condition that we can use to our advantage. So that being said, Janice is going to give us some more specific strategies on how to invite.
Awesome. I love how you posted in your notes earlier that you said, when you had a slump and you started inviting more, you started selling more. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. You don't have to sell. You just have to share. And if you're not sharing, then you're not selling. But that's a part she missed. I wanted to talk about something that I heard Carl Deichler say a long time ago, and I loved it so much because I always kind of got an icky feeling when I heard the words invite, invite, invite. And that's one of our vital behaviors. So I'm like, why do I feel so bad about that when I love having conversations with people? I love talking to people, but this invite, invite, invite always felt so icky. And one time he said he wished he would have called it attract, connect, invite. That's what he wished he would have called that vital behavior if he could have go back and rename it. So I wanted to talk about that, and I'm probably going to read some of this stuff because I had such, how you have really, really good ideas late at night, and if you don't write them down, they're gone. Same thing happened here. I was like, oh my gosh, I have all this great information. I don't want to make sure I give it to you guys. But inviting to me personally is just a lot of connections. That's what I've always done. So, she's talking to you and telling you all these different ways that you can attract the right people by using your social media correctly for your vision and your mission, right? So you've got to make sure that you're attracting in the way she was talking about, but then when you connect with people, you've got to make it more about them, less about you. I say that all the time because I was guilty of that. I wanted to tell them how the products have helped me and how the business has helped me. And then I would forget to ask, how could this possibly help you? Would this be the right fit for you? So let's see. See, I'll get off. See, I'm already getting off topic. All right, let's see. I can connect in many different ways. I can invite them to join me for a workout. You can invite them to try a shake with you. You can invite them to be your Facebook friend. You can invite them for a play date with you and your kids. You can invite them to a free group. You can invite them to a pay group, a book club, send them a birthday voice chat. That's a connection. You can wish them a healthy, happy holiday with Mother's Day coming up. That's a perfect opportunity for you guys to just reach out, those hey girls that they're talking about. That's a connection. It might not be an initial invite, but you got to have the connection first, right? And so even saying, hope you have a healthy and happy Mother's Day. I hope your family spoils you rotten. Something like that. You triggered them with the healthy part, and they're like, oh yeah, that's right. Janice is all into that, right? So network marketing has its games and rules and that they play by, but what I personally want to do and what I want to teach my team, and I know Amanda's the same way, is that we want to stand out. And I was just talking to Catherine today on our coach call that the word holy means set apart. You're different. And that's what I love about Amanda so much, and that's why I was so drawn to her, is because she's so different, and I wasn't alone anymore being a different type of coach. And then I felt like I wasn't alone in this. So what you're doing by being yourself and standing out in the crowd is other people will be going like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I want to go and I want to be with her. So that's your attraction. Then you're connecting with them through the hey message, and they can look different in all different ways. All of these are great ways to invite and start that connection and conversation. Because I seriously have conversations going all the time because people get busy, and I can talk to like 20 people in one day. It's not like that conversation's going forever and ever and ever, and it's taking all my time. They kind of get back to me on their break. They get back to me after work. They get back to me the next day. Sometimes it's a month later. So that it helps you. Like if you only send 5 conversations out and no one gets back to you, you kind of feel depleted. But when you send like 30 or 40 out and you got 5 going, it keeps you moving. You know, you've got somebody to talk to. Numbers game. Okay. So here are some examples. And again, she mentioned this before. You don't have to do, we have 10 minutes. We're staying with free. You don't have to do all of these. I used to think that when I was a new coach, I had to do all of these. No, you just need to find the ones that you want to try them again, try them again. If they don't work, try something different. Change it up when you get bored, okay? So you're going to be sprinkling these invites into your actual Facebook post. Last year at Summit, I think it was last year, yes. They were talking about breadcrumbing it. You're breadcrumbing that you're a coach. You're breadcrumbing that you help people. It could be a post about your kids, and all of a sudden at the very end, I'm talking about, this would be a great idea for my next challenge group. That's placing it right there in a story. So it's not, it's intentional, but it's not icky. It's not infomercial. I love that. I love it. It's not infomercial-y. Create a legit Facebook post and invite with a good call to action. So if you're going to invite on Facebook with a picture that says, join my next challenge group, it's got to have a good call to action at the end where they reach out to you, message you, leave a comment, leave their email, click this, click like, whatever. And then there's something you can do with all those likes and comments. Then you can go and say, thanks so much for, showing interest or considering, and then you go from there. Let's see, you can create paid shout outs on Instagram. You can do that for challenge groups or coaching invites. And Amanda's done amazing things with that. Whenever you talk about comfort zone, have not stepped out of that one or over into that one. But I love Facebook too. So I feel like that's my jam, my bread and butter. But I don't like bread. So maybe I should do Instagram too. Okay. Let's see here. Create a paid Facebook ad or invite. Facebook is a great thing. And I have wasted a lot of money on Facebook thinking I know what I'm doing. So before you do that, there are so many free little trainings out there that will give you a little bit of boost of confidence so you're not wasting your money. But Facebook ads are great ways to invite people. If you're wanting to go that route, make sure it has a great call to action. And there should be a new ability to do ads in groups. And we're just not sure how that works yet. Amanda was mentioning that. You can create an event page. That's what I love to do. That's what I do. Create an event page where you can have other people invite people to that. You can invite people. I hate being added to groups. Anybody else here? Just love to wake up the next morning and have 20 notifications from 4 or 5 different other groups that you had no interest in whatsoever. And here you are. Unfollow or leave group. And that's what I do. And that's so bad. What did Danielle Natoni say? It's she has a word for it. Social media something. I can't remember. I'll think of it. If I do, I'll let you know. But it's bad etiquette. Social media bad etiquette of some sort. Yeah. Okay. Do a live video inviting people. Oh my gosh. I wanted to do one today and I ran out of time. Then I went and got my nails done, my toes done. And so I was going to do a live one. Yay. You're actually the one that inspired me to do my nails. So, but I was going to do one today where you can go back and just watch it. Cause I have a 7-day sugar detox group that I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, this would be perfect one to just do a real quick live video inviting people, just straight up inviting them, telling them it's $7 and just, go from there and just see how many more people I can reach with that video. Don't be scared, you guys. Don't be scared, because if you really, really want to help somebody, you've got to get over yourself in order to do it. It's not, and that's why I always say it's not about me. It's about them. Let's see. Last but not least, the most important is your personal conversations, you guys. And like she said, there's so much behind the scenes that you just don't see your upline I don't see Melissa's. I mean, so many times I'm like, how does she do it? And finally, when she started sharing what she was doing, I'm like, okay, well, that's where you're getting all the numbers. Like, it's a numbers game. Okay. I get it. It's not just because you've been in the business 8 years. You're still doing the same work that you're asking me to do. And so I'm still doing the same work we're asking you to do. Amanda, I know she does because we're accountability partners. I know her numbers and she knows mine. Get yourself an accountability partner. It helps. So get those conversations out. Like Amanda said, the most important stuff is all behind the scenes. And that's why we're telling you how we do this. Okay, let me see. 5 minutes left. Let's see. My personal strategy, I'll just tell you real quick. And if we don't have time, Amanda, maybe you could just type yours up underneath the video when we post it or something. But my personal strategy is that I make sure that my Facebook page looks like a business page, meaning my banner talks about my next challenge group. Amanda has a great website that she uses. And so anybody can go to her website and see all the challenge groups that are coming up. I use the top banner in my Facebook group. And I say what I'm about: faith, fitness, food. And I've had a lot of people comment or message me and say, hey, I need help. They'll send me a picture of what they look like right now and I need help. And I'm like, okay. So then later on in the conversation, I'm like, so how did you, come to reach out to me? She's like, I've been following you forever and I saw your banner that this is what you do. And I'm like, okay. And I have always thought that the banner should represent me, but I never thought to actually put my challenge groups on there and be very specific and strategic about the marketing side of it. So that's what I've done. My post, I've always showed that my post that I'm a professional. That's changed over the years too. I'm professional, and I might not be the best speller, but I am a professional health and fitness coach. And so that's got to come across that. And it doesn't matter what level of profession you are, you have to portray yourself as that. Like they say, you have to dress the part that you want to be, right? It's not fake. You got to do it. I hope you guys have got that conversation going down there. I don't want to get distracted. Don't get into a rush. Prosperous coach, again, don't get into a rush. Don't rush them. Take time to get to know the people. That's a part of the inviting process. You guys, you're not just saying, hey, you want to join my group? There's a process. And you've got to take your time to really get to know them. I love that Amanda brought that up, her personal story about how she just went into the product thinking that the person really didn't need to dig deeper into her goals or her mental issues and stuff. And I know that she's learned from that. And that's important to her to make sure that she knows those things. And it is for me too. And it's not a game. It's, you've got to get to the root cause of their problem, or 160 is going to sound like a joke to them, right? But if you share the value and you share that you really want to help them with their real problem, that inviting process goes a whole lot smoother because they feel taken care of. Like you really truly want to take care of them. You just don't want. And they don't even know that we only make like what, $32 half the time off of them. It's not much, guys. Even people that go and teach fitness classes, they don't make much money. We do it because we love it, but we still deserve to be paid for it. Anyway, okay, don't rush. And then I just set goals. You guys have to have goals of inviting, right? You have to have goals, and you can't have new people to invite to if you're not inviting new people to be friends with you. That's another connection. You got to have invites to new friends. Send out the friend request, and I get it all the time. Do I know you? Nope. And I just start a conversation with them. Nope. But I saw that me and you and so had friends, and I'm social butterfly. They can just think that I'm crazy and leave me alone, or most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, okay, and they accept my friend request. So I always go in with the attention with tons of conversations. So that's my strategy, is I just always have conversations going, and it's not always about Beachbody, guys. Very few are right now about Beachbody, but I know that they will organically lead into that, and that's what I want. It to naturally happen and not feel forced. Okay, I'm done.
I had one more thing, and hold on, where's it at?
It's less than 1 minute.
Oh, what was it?
It was a truth bomb.
It was good.
Yeah, I can feel it.
You triggered it. I don't remember it. Anyway, there's some good chat over here going too, guys, if you want to check that out.
Oh, I wish there was a way to.
There is a click more and click save chat right now. See at the bottom of the chat, click more, click save chat. It'll save to your computer. And then we can post it if we need to. Anyways, thank you guys for hopping on. And if I remember my statement, I'll post it in both groups.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And otherwise, we can continue this conversation and we'll pop the recording up as soon as it's ready.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being here on the call tonight. I appreciate it. Hi, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Good
Bye,
night.
Tammy. Bye, Kat.